MMA locker room here. Mills Young, that is, with Tony Picks. And we're about to go over this fight's to finish and see which ones goes the distance on the overs and unders and give you guys my predictions on how to bet these fights and win you guys some numbers. But first, before we do that, man, we got to let you guys know exactly how we did last week. We got beat up, folks. I mean, goddamn. Coming off of a great week prior, we were sweeping it. 11-1 on our fights to finish and go the distance picks, right? And then last week, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I think it was only 10 fights or 12 fights that even got, rolled out. Man. And we bombed, bro. We only picked 3 right. Like, it was a bad night, all right? It was a bad night. Transparency is key. That's always what you're going to get from me. So that was what we did last week. So you ever got beat up so bad by somebody, you just go to school the next day and just like beat up somebody for no reason just because you know, like he don't even got no problem with you. He probably just asks you for a piece of paper and you like, nah, man. Like, that's how it got done. So this week, we taking it out on the books, okay? We taking that out on every single fight, so stay tuned. I'm going to go over my fights, predictions on if they're going to go the distance, and then always in between, you're going to get my leans on the fight picks and, which way I'm leaning. But if you guys want my exclusive picks, my #1 premium picks, my #1 bets, what you need to do is go on over the Tony Picks right there. Hit the premium picks tab. You see that right there? Hit me up. Let me know. I got a 3-pack for you guys. I got single bets for you guys. And hey, man, I even got a weekly and a yearly package. So stay tuned, okay? If you guys really want to see what I'm betting on, that's how you guys get the ins and outs. And coming off of last week, man, we went 1-1, they didn't give you guys a lot of value, so you had to pick your spots. And when I picked my spots, some of the dogs that I thought was going to be barking, they didn't. It was a fight card out in UFC Saudi Arabia, and talking to a lot of those fighters, they were saying that they were dealing with like traditions that they weren't used to. They were training in rooms that just got painted. They were smelling, inhaling fumes. A couple of people were saying that they were feeling dizzy and passing out. 4 different fighters literally came out and said the same different thing. 2 fighters got cut from the UFC just because of their performances. So, hey, I tell you like this. I'm undefeated. I didn't lose. They did. No, I'm just playing. Let's go ahead and get it started, man. First fight of the night. We got HyunSung Park taking on Nyamjargal. All right, man. You got HyunSung Park the favorite. -230 in this one. And the over 2.5 is going to be +105. The under 2.5 is going to be a -135. They like the under. The reason why is because Tumendemberel, he's one of those guys that usually goes out there and gets finished. But his last time out, he went the distance with Carlos Hernandez. In this one, both of these fighters came from the UFC road to UFC, where, you got Asian fighters trying to get their chance to get in the game. And they both got in the game now. I like HyunSung Park to get it done in here. And I give me the over, man. I think this one's going over the 2.5, man. So that's the first fight of the night that I think. And we're going with the over in that one, man. Over 2.5. Next fight, second fight. Quillan Salkilld taking on Anshul Jubli. Man, Salkild's a big favorite in there. -650 on the books. Too big for me to bet on him. Jubilee's +490. The over and under, you got it at a -166 for under 2.5. And you got it over 2.5 at a +133. Based on both these fighters, both these guys are new. Jubli has 1 fight in the UFC where he was winning in that fight and he gassed out in the 3rd round. Salkild's coming from the Dana White Contender Series. A European fighter who kind of goes out there and, just got a high gas tank and cardio in here. In here, I do think the under is going to hit because Jubli is not trustworthy and he gassed out before. And Salkilld might be able to get the submission. So give me fight not going the distance in this one, man. Next fight taking place. You got Jonathan Micallef taking on Jousset. -238 on the books. Last time out, he fought Brian Battle on a spot that we had Brian Battle straight money line -160. Alright, so in this one, he's a city kickboxer type of fighter, but he doesn't strike like them. He goes for wrestling, he goes for takedowns. He's a fighter that I usually like. I think we can trust him at that -230 price tag. If you guys are looking for parlay material, that's where you go. Over 2.5 is going to be -166. The under 2.5 is going to be at a +130. The damage that Micallef takes out there, you just never know, man. The over in this fight, man, Nah, man. I don't think this one's going the distance. Give me the plus money in there. Kevin Jousset's been showing that he can finish opponents that, you know, that's not on the same level with him. And just from what I've seen off the recent tape study, I don't think his opponent's on the same level. Give me fight not going the distance in this one. All right, man. Next fight taking place. All right, we got a good one. Cody still taking on Rongzhu. We got Cody still minus 245 on the books. And Rongzhu, you got some nice little plus money, plus 200 in there. I like Cody still in here, man. He's going to be making his UFC debut, coming from the Dana White Contender Series in here. He trains at a good gym, a good team, a good camp. And look, man, he's a dominant grappler, but he has power in his hands. He's been able to put some people out. Dana White Contender Series, he did what he had to. Get the contract, now he's in. Rongzhu, man, he's a good fighter, talented fighter, fast fighter, technical fighter. But this is the thing. He got finished in his last fight because of a doctor stoppage. His eye just swelled up. In the fight that we had the opponent in, we had Chris Padilla in that one. So, yeah. The over 2.5 is going to be at a plus 120. The under 2.5 is going to be at a minus 145. I can see this one going the distance, though, man. Both these guys are durable, you know? So, give me the over 2.5 at a plus 120 in this one. Yeah, man. And I like Cody still as well. Next fight taking place. We got a good one. Aleksandre Topuria taking on Colby Thicknesse. Yeah, Topuria. His brother. He's fighting now, okay? He's a minus 380 on the books, plus 300 on the Colby Thicknesse. The over 1.5 is at a minus 135. The under 1.5 is at a plus 105. Two of these fighters both making their UFC debut. You don't really know what you're going to get in here. And it's just amazing that they got the over 1.5 at a minus 130. But Topuria, he has a lot of first round finishes in here. But I think both these guys are going to have that UFC jitters a little bit. And I think somebody might get finished. But if they do, it might be later in the round. Or just give me the over in this one, man. Give me the over 1.5 rounds. The over 1.5 rounds at a minus 130. I think we can get in and get out and get in. And I like Topuria to get the job done as well. Next fight taking place. Big favorite. Cong Wang taking on Bruno Brasil. Cong Wang minus 480, plus 370 on the dog. The over 2.5 is at a minus 188. The under 2.5 is at a plus 140. All right. Cong Wang got finished in her last fight out, okay? And she was a big favorite, minus 1,300. Bruno Brasil finished a big she was a big underdog in her last fight out, and she finished Molly McCann by the scorecards. The distance one in here, it's a little bit shocking, man. I don't think this was going the distance. Now that I see it, man. Bruno Brasil, she's been finished once in her UFC career. Cong Wang's been finished too as of late. But this is the thing. I don't think these girls are going to be too hesitant to strike, at least on Cong Wang's side. Especially her getting finished 6 months out. I think she's either going to be looking again for that finish or even be reckless again and maybe get finished in here. And if you ask me, the odds is off, man. There's no way I'm betting minus 480 in a parlay and closing my eyes. If anything, I'm looking at the dog in that one, man. Because I do think Bruno Brasil would be live at those odds in there, especially, you know, Cong Wang coming off of that finish in her last fight out. But the pick, we're just going to go fight not going the distance. And if you guys are trying to bet big favorites on this card and you just see big numbers, this is not the card to just kind of see big favorites on. I think there's better value on some of these lower price tags that you guys can see in the fight card. All right, next fight taking place. We got a banger in this one. Nolan taking on Viacheslav Borshchev. All right, Borshchev's going to be the favorite, minus 120. Both these guys are talented strikers, man. The over 1.5's at a minus 120. Under 1.5's at a minus 110. Whew. I just got this one. This ain't going the distance, man. This ain't going the distance. Borshchev can attack the body on Nolan. Nolan is a fast, tall fighter, you know, with the long reach. If he connects on Borshchev, hey, man, you might be able to put him out too, especially, you know, having the background of his hometown out there, because they're fighting in Australia, folks. So, you know, you're going to have a lot of these fighters that's from Australia, so the crowd's definitely going to be cheering them on. Ah, man, this one ain't going the distance. That's what I know for sure, and it's a 50-50 fight. Yeah, it's a 50-50 fight in that one. Next fight taking place, we got Jenkins taking on Gabriel Santos. Gabriel Santos minus 230 on the books. He's the favorite. He's supposed to be warranted, but I think it shouldn't be that high, maybe like minus 180-ish. Jenkins plus 190. He's going to have the hometown crowd behind him. They got the over 2.5 at a minus 200. They got under 2.5 at a plus 150. So, I like this one going over. I like this one going over 2.5. Gabriel Santos is a talented fighter. He's been thrown in the fire against people in his short little UFC stint. Jack Jenkins is a dog, and it seems like he's been able to win, you know, time and time again when people count him out. And here, this is going to be another close fight, man. If this goes to the scorecards, I could see them giving it to Jack Jenkins, especially if it's close in here. With all that being said, yeah, I think the value is going to be a little bit on the... Man, the value is going to be on the dog in here, but I'm going with the over 2.5. Yeah, that's going to be what I predict on the fight not finishing. I think that one's going the distance. All right, next fight taking place. Jake Matthews taking on Francisco Prado. Jake Matthews minus 240 on the books. All right, so in this one, I got the over 2.5 at a minus 180, under 2.5 plus 140. So when you see lines chalked at, you know, minus 180 for over 2.5, they're implying that it's going the distance. Okay. So with that being said, if we're gonna play over 2.5, I'm probably just gonna play fight go the distance and, you know, get a little bit better price tag on that. With that being said, Jake Matthews, welterweight, the original one in this division, Francisco Prado, he's stepping up now to this weight class. He changed his gym. He changed his training regimen. Now he's training at the American Top Team. He's an Argentinian fighter who was getting by without the best gym and best training partners. Jake Matthews, a guy that's been fighting in the UFC forever. We know what he's going to bring. Sometimes when you bet on him as a favorite, he doesn't always win for you. And then sometimes when you're watching the fight, you're just like, man, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you make it easier? I like the dog in this one, if you ask me. Francisco Prado, I do think is live in this one. I think he's going to, you know, be able to just keep coming forward. The only thing is Jake Matthews does have that wrestling in his back pocket to where I think if he wants to make this easier, he can go to that wrestling, hold him down for a couple of rounds and, you know, implement that ground and pound. With all that being said, though, give me the over 2.5, and I think that one's going the distance. All right, next fight taking place. Jimmy Crute taking on Rodolfo Bellado. All right, man. Jimmy Crute's back. Plus 136 on the books. Minus 160 for the favorite Bellado. They got the over 1.5 at a minus 140. Under 1.5 at a plus 110. It's hard to bet on this one because Jimmy Crute just took some time off from retirement or sat back and took some time. Now he's back fighting in his hometown, but that's the only reason why I think he's really fighting is because it's in Australia. The over 1.5 at a minus 140. I don't think this one's going the distance. That's the best way to play it. I'm not going to try to get tricky and, you know, over 2.5, under 1.5. Just play fight not going the distance in this one. And I got to go with the favorite again, man. Jimmy Crute's on a 4-fight losing streak, and who knows where his mind's going to be and how he's going to look actually in that cage after he gets hit, after taking some time off, you know. Next fight taking place. Justin Tafa taking on Thaleson Teixeira. All right, Thaleson Teixeira is the rightful favorite, minus 142. The under 1.5, minus 210. This one ain't going the distance. That's the way I'm going to play it. Both these guys has finishability on them. 7-0 for the newcomer. Justin Tafa is a first-round fighter. Goes out there, swings with bricks on his hands, looking to put you out. And then on the other side, Teixeira, he's there to be hit. He's a tall fighter. He's like 6'4" or something damn near for the division. And he's not defensively sound. And here, I still like him as the favorite. I think he wins. And then give me the fight not going the distance. All right, man. Smash the like button for us. We got 2 more fights. Co-main event time. Weili Zhang taking on Tatiana Suarez, the champion. We got the champion is the underdog plus 100, minus 120 for Tatiana Suarez. 5-round fight. You got the over 3.5 at a minus 140. I'm gonna just say fight not go the distance in this one. I don't think this one is going to the scorecards. I do think Tatiana Suarez can finish Weili Zhang inside the distance with her ground with her submission skills. But then again, Weili Zhang is gonna have way too much striking if this stays on the feet and goes to those later rounds. We never seen Tatiana Suarez pushed in the fire and, you know, see how she reacts to pressure. With that being said, fight not going the distance and new champion Tatiana Suarez. All right, next fight taking place. Main event time. We got Sean Strickland taking on Dricus Du Plessis. All right, so in this one, the favorite's going to be Dricus Du Plessis, the champion. Sean Strickland plus 170. They got the over 4.5 at a minus 200. Under 4.5 at a plus 154. Main event going the distance? I don't think so. Give me the plus money. Give me the plus money, man. I don't think this one's going the distance in the scorecards. And still, I think we're going to Dricus Du Plessis retaining that belt, man. The first fight that took place between these guys, he was able to win in a close fight that everybody thought maybe Strickland did something to edge out a decision. With that being said, Dricus is not going to let this one, I don't think, even get to the scorecards. I think he's going to go full blast beast mode in the first couple of rounds. After the second round, I think he's going to try to finish him by the fourth round. Matter of fact, fourth round finish. That's what I say. Yeah, I say he's going to finish him in the fourth round. Fourth or the second, man. That's what I'm feeling it. All right, man. Next, man. If you guys want to get my exclusive picks, you know what to do. Now, let's go ahead and get it started. Let me know exactly what you guys are betting on. And hey, man, make sure you guys have a wonderful weekend out there. I'm going to give you guys a parlay to get paid, okay? Give me Topuria, and then give me Cody Steele, and then give me Bellado. Okay, give me those three all in a no. Yeah, give me those three all in a parlay. Meet me at the window and let's get paid. I thought I was gonna add one more leg, but I'm not. Nyamjargal here, part of Tony Picks.